Link कहीं share कर.
So there is a question: is there really free will? What is the meaning of free will? I can choose what I want to do in life. I have total freedom, or do I have limited freedom? So what's your answer? At any point of time, we seem to have a choice. For example, let us say I go to a place, a circle. So there are 10 different routes. I have a choice of making 10 different routes. I can take route number 1, route number 2, but to reach my destination, only one route is possible. But I don't know. I am free to choose one of the 10 routes. But after going there, I find that I am on wrong place. Then again, I'll come back. I'll experiment one more route. Like that, I have to do experiment finally to find the one right route. In right route, there is a choice. There's no choice. Only one right route is possible. So we have a choice when we are ignorant, when there is no understanding, then there's a choice. But all the choices will not lead us to destination. So life is a set of open-ended experiments. We'll do something, see the result, and then we'll correct it like it's going on one route, finding out that route doesn't work, come back, start again. So life we learn through a series of open-ended experiments. So that learning through open-ended experience is called karma. Karma is not a punishment. We'll try to do something, some result comes, then it's not okay, we'll try to correct it. So this experiment will go on many lifetimes. And every time any action is happened, karma is there, so karma phala will come. So the karma phala is called prarabdha. So prarabdha comes in our life. So at the time when the result, prarabdha or that's called destiny also. Destiny and prarabdha are synonymous. What happens in our life, we don't have a choice at all because destiny appears in front of us at a given point of time, every time. But is a result of choices we have made earlier. It's a karma phala. I had a choice to make it, but the problem is I didn't have maturity to do the right choice. I'm learning by experimenting. I'm playing with my life to experiment. So I did a mistake, something comes, some suffering comes, then I'll try to correct it. Like that, life is a series of open-ended learning systems. It never. That's the meaning of punarapi janam, punarapi maranam. Again and again we take birth. We keep on experimenting. In every experiment, we seem to have a choice. Please understand in life, there's only one right choice. There are 10,000 wrong choices. We have a choice in ignorance. When you don't know, there seems to be a choice. When you know, there's no choice. Life is choiceless when you, otherwise, apparently there seems to be choice. The choice and in our life, prarabdha or destiny, we don't have a control. But we have a control on what to do, how to respond. That response is called purushartha. Purushartha, we have a choice. But in ignorance, we seem to have many choices. But in wisdom, we don't have a choice. We have only one right thing to do. So in wisdom, we are choiceless. In ignorance, you have a choice. But these choices are real. The choices are fake. They are not real because they'll not give us the right result. We'll experiment, we'll struggle, and then find something is not working. Again, experiment. So the choices which you have, apparent choices are many, but none of them are real choices. Real choice is only one. So real choice is choiceless. Apparent choices are fake. And that fake choice we'll try, thinking that we have a choice. We have 10 things possible, we'll do experiment, and the experiment creates karma, karma creates karma phala. So this is called prarabdha. Prarabdha is a response called purushartha. In purushartha, if your wisdom is there, then there's only one choice. And what choice is that? Enquire, who am I? Be aware. In that awareness, action will happen spontaneously. There's no choice. And that is the only real free will. Because you have become free from will. What you call as free will is nothing but a set of possibilities which will give you some result, but not the right result, not permanent result. So you'll be constantly on experimenting. So you seems to have apparent free will in illusion, in ignorance. In real free will, there's no choice. Only right action is there, spontaneous. Now, which is free will now? when you have a real choice, you have inquired, you have become aware, and that in the awareness, there's a free will. Awareness, this only right possible action. Now, at any point of time, when you make a choice, the choice is a function of maturity, what I have. The nature provides you option. You can do A, you can do B, you can do C. Because of our immaturity, we'll choose something. Then we learn. So the nature gives us ability to learn from our maturity, learn from our experiments and grow. In that sense, we have a freedom. Now, this is a slow process of evolution. In the slow process of evolution, you seem to have a free will at any point of time. Of course, the choice of what you do is dependent on maturity. And maturity depends on number of experiments you have done earlier in life and what you have learned. So that ability to do experiment, ability to choose is called a purushartha. So now, is in purushartha do you have a choice? Yes, you have a choice. Because you can exercise a choice. You can go in this route or that route. But how does the maturity comes? Maturity comes based on many, many lifetimes of experimentation, many, many experiments. So now you tell me, is there a choice or no choice in your life? There is a choice in ignorance. There are apparent choices. In wisdom, there's no choice. There's only one choice possible, right choice, or choice based on the awareness. To come to that level, you have to go through a cycle. So then to say, I don't have any choice is false. Because every person in the earth says, I have choice. If I put a microphone and jalebi in front of you, you say, I'll choose jalebi. You are making choice. Right? In simple things, the choice doesn't matter. Jalebi or this thing. But life, we keep on making choices. Of course, the choice is based on ignorance, but there's a positivity. Okay, now I want to Prarabdha is what happens to you, result of past karma. Purushartha is what you exercise now. Purushartha is actually exercise of free will. Now, free will, how do you exercise? With what maturity you exercise? Again, is a question mark, right? If you are fully free will, fully mature, then you'll ask question, who is doing? I am awareness. All actions happen in awareness, and that's a spontaneous action, right action. Other actions are based on ignorance. So Purushartha, in a sense, is the free will. Okay. A degree of free will based on maturity. Now, there's one more word called fate. The fate, we should not confuse the destiny. So fate means whatever has to happen will happen. I don't have anything to do. So in fate, you are saying everything happening me in my life, there's no control. Okay. Fatalism, it's called. So, for example, many people who understand, teach, listen to Vedanta, they think that I don't have free will. Whatever happened to, I'm fatal, I'm helpless, I'm surrendering to my fate. Fate means you don't have any control of what's happening. But Vedantic teaching is, if life is a fate, it happens to you, then there's no point in Vedanta, there's no point in teaching, there's no point in evolution. You are like a machine. Whatever has to happen will happen. But being a conscious beings, there's a degree of freedom for all of us. The degree of freedom is called Purushartha. How much what we exercise the degree of freedom is based on our maturity. Until we become really mature and self-enquire, we do choices in Maya, illusion, that will give to Karmapala. Finally, to become free from Karmapala, we have to inquire, who am I? And become free from concept of free will. Concept of what you call is apparent free will. Then only right choice happens, and that action is in awareness, and that's called spontaneous action. Is the answer clear? Trust and all those things, right? Shraddha, all those things we mix up, no? In the language, The fate and destiny are not same. If you look at the dictionary, the fate means what happens in your life, you don't have a control. Okay? It can be because of you or it can be somebody else. It's not related to your action. Destiny is what choice you have made in your life is coming to you. So fate and destiny appear to be similar words, but they are different words. Are we clear? Let me put it this way. The word fate, right? If you look at English dictionary and destiny, fate and destiny, they have different connotations in English dictionary. Destiny is, there's a destination. You have started journey and you are reaching somewhere. That means you are going and you meet some different places. You have made a choice. That means you have a role to play in that. Okay? But in some situations in life, we don't have a role to play. Something happens to us. So that we call as accident or fate. For example is Corona. I didn't do anything, but the Corona comes. Okay. So then I'm not well. Getting admitted to hospital, there's no seats. There's no bed in the hospital. So this situation, which is not dependent on my past action and current reality, we call it as fate in English language. Now we say fate is same as destiny. So that happened to you, Corona came to you because of destiny. We cannot say. That's why there are three types of things happen. What we call Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Adi Bhautika is happening because of nature. I don't have control over it. Adi Bhautika, but what happens is how do I respond to the nature I control? For example, suddenly there's an earthquake. How do I respond? Purushartha is possible. But the earthquake itself, is it my individual karma? It is a collective karma or something has happened. I don't have control. But what happens in my life, my relationships, my friends, my circumstances, that is a part of destiny. So Adi Bhautika, I can't say it's my destiny. I can say fate. Something happens, suddenly earthquake happens. I can't say. Now we can always say, come back and say, no, it's because of a destiny also. Because you did some karma, that happened. So, but I can't. The word fate means I don't have any choice in my life. That's called fatalism. Vedanta is not about fatalism. Vedanta says what you did earlier comes back to you in the form of destiny. That's called prarabdha. In prarabdha, I don't have a choice. But prarabdha is two types. Like, for example, I have a husband, I have a wife, I have a relationship. I don't have a choice. It happened to me. But suddenly, earthquake happens. Everybody is affected. Is it my creation? I don't know. So, and suddenly, electricity goes. I'm stuck someplace. So that situation is called fate. And okay, everything in my life is fate. Then I am become fatalism. That means I don't do anything. Something happens. So fate is mostly Adi Bhautika. Something happens in nature. I can't do anything about it. Adi Daivika, there are three things. Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika is what I have done, come to me. Adi Daivika is a play of higher force of consciousness. Okay. So that also is conscious entities coming with it. Daivas, Devatas. But Adi Bhautika is physical thing happening. So fate is in general, I think, is related to more of Adi Bhautika events. Adi Daivika and Adhyatmika, our destiny or prarabdha karma comes into play. That's my understanding. Maybe I'm not accurate. Yeah.
Man search for meaning.
Just pause, Gayatri. So, Gayatri, can you continue? So, I want to put a fate in a different category compared to destiny. Destiny, I have a role to play. I might have taken a wrong decision or right decision, but I did some karma and it is coming to me. I can't avoid it. But fate, suddenly something happens where I don't have apparent choice. I can't run away from it. For example, an earthquake happens. Did I do the earthquake? Do I have the ability to create an earthquake? Did my karma create the earthquake? No, possibly. Possibly the collective karma of the society created it, where I am a small part. I can't do anything about it. For example, there's a violence in the society. I can't do anything about it. And somewhere I got stuck in the traffic jam. Okay, I don't have any control. I control the situation. What happens as a part of the collective karma, I would use the name called fate. Whereas my individual karma, I call as prarabdha. I mean, if I have to call something as fate. Are we clear, Gayatri? Okay. Shall we stop this discussion? So So there are many people believe in fate. Whatever has to happen will happen. Will happen. I don't have a choice. It's called fatalism. Sanatana Dharma doesn't believe in fatalism, doesn't advocate fatalism. So I want to distinguish between the word called fate and destiny. Destiny, you have a role to play. At any point of time, we can make choices based on the maturity we have at that point of time. A right maturity will make choices are very less. In wrong maturity, choices are many, apparent choices. That's why I say you have free will at any point of time. But is it the free will absolute? No, because it depends on the maturity. And maturity depends on how many experiments you have done and what conclusion you have come, or how you have lived your life is maturity. So, do you have absolute free will? No. Apparent free will? Yes. In apparent free will, we seem to have multiple choices and we choose something. And what choice we make is called free will. And that results in destiny, what happens in our life. Okay? So, in destiny, we don't have control. It happens in our life. But the destiny, we should not mix up with the fate. Fate means whatever happens in life is happening, accident, or something is happening. For example, earthquake is there. It's not because of individual I didn't do anything. My destiny has brought me my relatives, my friends, my circumstance in life, my business. But what affects the whole world? Corona. It's not individual karma. It's not my destiny. It's the destiny of the mankind. It's a collective destiny. So there I have a small role, but I don't have a big role. In my destiny, I have a role. So my free will, exercise of my free will in terms of Purushartha created Prarabdha. Prarabdha I face with the free will, current free will. Current free will become future destiny. So do you have a choice in life? Definitely you have a choice in life. But are the choices a perfect choice? No. In perfect choice, there's only no choice. There's only one right thing to do. If there are 10 roads, right road is only one. In confusion, I can choose 10 roads. Do you have real choice? I have apparent choice. In right understanding, there's no choice. It's a choiceless life. That's called spontaneous living. Right understanding happens when you have poor awareness, Atma Dhyana. Actions with Atma Dhyana, it's called spontaneous. Action without Atma Dhyana is mind dictated. There is apparent choice. That's called free will. So real free will is when you have become free from will. In awareness, there's only right choice. One choice. Spontaneous choice. Is the answer clear? Okay, we'll stop at this point. Hari Om. So continuing our discussion on free will, fate, and destiny. The one more aspect comes called grace. Destiny is a result of my choices we made in an earlier part of my life. So at any point of time, we have an apparent choice. Real choice is not a choice. Real choice is only one thing possible. Apparent choice is many. And it depends on the maturity. So I make some choice called Purushartha, exercise Purushartha. Purushartha creates a Parabdha, destiny. So the destiny word comes from English word destination. That means we have something to go. We have some role to play. But fate means I don't have a role to play. Something happens in my life. So that I say nothing in the universe happens because of accident. Everything happens because of a cause and effect. So corona or earthquake or bad weather. So that we say is because of collective karma. I have a role to play, but not a significant role to play. In destiny or prarabdha, I have a role to play. My own relatives, my family, my business, all those things I had a role to play. So fate is different from destiny. So if I believe in fate all the time, we become fatalism. Then I don't do anything. Whereas karma theory or Prarabdha karma tells us I have a choice at time. I have to exercise the choice properly with proper discrimination. A maturity has to come. So there's one more dimension comes. That's called grace. So grace is also what happens in our life. So grace is right thing happening at right time in our life, irrespective of my effort. I have no role to play. It happens in my life. So where fate is because of collective karma, prarabdha is because of my individual karma, grace is because of consciousness, universal consciousness. One example of grace is the guru of Chinmayananda. He is going in a Himalayan track. Taponanji Maharaj. Monks should not keep 1 paisa with them, money. Monks should not carry food more than 1 day. So he didn't carry. They had to completely depend on the will of God, universal consciousness. So now, suddenly there is a snowstorm, he lost his way and he becomes unconscious. He's hungry also. Where will the food come from? Suddenly some people come and put water to his face, wake him up. Actually, there are robbers there. The robbers who rob people on the Himalayan track see some fellow lying, they wake him up and give food. So now, here the robbers coming to him, he has no role to play. Getting food, he has no role to play. Getting food and robbers coming is not individual karma, individual action, not a collective karma, it's a divine action. The universal consciousness functions that way. The universal conscious function is called grace. So prarabdha is your own action, purushartha coming as a result now. Fate is collective karma coming to us. Even collective karma comes also, you have still a purushartha. Earthquake is I can still run away. But what happens is not because of my individual karma. And then the third is called grace. When I totally surrender to divine, totally, please understand the word total surrender, then the universal consciousness takes care of me in some way. Not if I have, there's no my choice there. I don't choose what happens to me. There's no individual prarabdha karma. What I've done, I have surrendered to the God, universal consciousness totally. So then something happens to me that is called grace. In English, it's called synchronicity. Now, again, many times we pseudo surrender, false surrender. I surrender to God. Oh God, I surrender to you. Okay. Then I don't exercise in my choice in what happens in my life. So in case it doesn't matter. He may die also. But he is following the principle of sannyasa. So it's a total surrender. When you are holding on to a consequence, then surrender is not total. Then we dictate the result. Then we will tell universal consciousness, do this. Then grace will not, this is not grace. Grace happens when you have completely surrendered. Whatever happens is thy will. Then something will happen in our life. It's called God's grace. Is it clear? Any questions on this? Okay, we'll close for the day. Hari Om. We speak of karma, prarabdha, purushartha. So many people, Westerners, think that we are speaking of fatalism. In fact, Sanatana Dharma speaks of individual freedom. You have freedom to explore. Only condition put says the freedom to explore in the falsehood, mithya, unreality. Right? So, and we are the masters of our destiny. We can create our own karma. So, when you speak of destiny and prarabdha karma and purushartha, you are master of your life. You are creating your life in whatever way. A mess or a bliss, whatever is that. So, you have a choice. Sanatana Dharma always speaks of a destiny or prarabdha karma and says, you are amsha of God. You are a reflection of God. You have a choice. You have an apparent choice. Because in absolute choice, there's nothing there. And you can explore, you can experiment, and over many lifetimes, you can learn. That's called karma. So karma is about learning, karma is about experimentation, karma is about freedom. Now, if your real sense, the freedom is not, it's actually not absolute freedom. In real, absolutely, there's nothing is there. No, nothing to experiment. Only reality is there. Whereas the fate concept brings fatalism. There I am a victim. What is happening? Forces of nature, force of circumstance, I'm a victim. So while in destiny or prarabdha karma, I am the master of my life. In fatalism, I am a victim of life. There's a misery in my life. In karma, prarabdha karma or destiny, I have a choice. And my life is joyful because whatever is happening is my own creation. I accept life joyfully. Something bad happens, it's my choice. Something good happens, it's my choice. Whereas in fate, I'm a victim. I always cry. I'm suffering. In grace, I'm grateful. Okay? I'm neither a victim nor a master of my destiny. I'm grateful to what is given to me. Grace comes when I surrender. Total surrender. There's a grace. A life of gratitude brings grace. Life of right karma or wrong karma brings destiny, prarabdha, but both are my own doing. And don't blame anybody. In victimhood or fatalism, I always somebody to blame. I suffer. In grace, my life is joyful. I am living with God. In fate, I am a victim. In prarabdha karma, I am master of my life. In ignorance, doesn't matter, but I am master of my life. So actually, the theory of karma is there to give you hope that you are not a victim of circumstance. You are not a machine. Is that clear? Any questions? Hari Om.